club has gone too far. They want the juice bar to cover up more than its dancers. The town of Colony has been getting lots of complaints about this. Hand-painted signs on the sides of Sebastian's on Route 7 offering sexy nude girls and hot adult fun inside. The supervisor, Mary Brazell, says this isn't the first battle that Colony has had with Sebastian's. She hopes, though, that it's the last.
You know, our ultimate goal is to get the lettering off of there, to come to some kind of agreement with him to get the building down and let him relocate wherever he wants.
The town recently took Sebastian's parking lot by eminent domain to make way for the extension of Wade Road. The owner's attorney says there's no doubt that the town's trying to drive him off the land that's left.
Saratoga County is one step closer tonight to getting its new emergency radio system. CBS 6 News has learned that county leaders are working at a plan with the Adirondack Park Council to put towers up in the towns of Day, Hadley, and Edinburgh. They've already decided how many towers will be built, where they'll go, and how tall they'll be. Right now, all 35 Saratoga County emergency crews are on one single channel. They say that could eventually cost someone's life.
The New York Racing Association has a new CEO, and he's no stranger to the business. NYRA says former Daily Racing Form CEO Charles Hayward will take over for Barry Schwartz, who stepped down last month. A court-appointed monitor has been keeping an eye on things at NYRA after recent fraud and mismanagement charges. French doctors say that rumors Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat is dead are false.
And tonight, power is already being transferred out of the ailing leader's hands. Arafat is critically ill, being treated for an unknown illness in a French military hospital. Supporters are holding vigil outside. He's reportedly in a coma, but aides have dismissed reports that he's brain dead. Dr. Stephen Lebo says his death won't really change anything.
The fact is the Palestinian community really hasn't had a real leader. It's had a symbol. It's had Arafat, but not a real leader, not someone who was able to move his people along to the compromises they needed to make along with those of the Israelis in order to have a peace.
Security has been boosted at Jewish settlements tonight as fears of violence against Israelis rises.
Well, this Palestinian guest speaker at the Albany Public Library's main branch caused quite a commotion tonight. He was sponsored by the International Solidarity Movement. The protesters say the ISM calls itself a human rights organization, but it's really, they say, a terrorist group.
Human rights organizations are here to help people and here to give support and food and money. But terrorist organizations like the International Solidarity Movement, all they do is infiltrate Israel's borders and help terrorists perpetrate mass murder.
Supporters of the ISM say the protesters who gathered tonight are totally off base and should be prosecuted for spreading lies.
It has been a rough week for John Edwards and his family. Today, news went public that his wife, Elizabeth, has breast cancer. A spokesman says there have been calls pouring in all day from across the country and from both sides of the political aisle. Elizabeth Edwards was diagnosed yesterday, immediately after her husband and John Kerry conceded the presidential election. Tests are being done now to see if it has spread.
President Bush is still riding high on his decisive victory and says he's ready to cash in on the political capital that he's earned, pushing changes to Social Security and the tax code. The president also talked about Iraq in his first post-election news conference. He says he will work with the Iraqi government on elections there. And the president says he will announce his cabinet changes soon. Attorney General John Ashcroft may have beaten him to the punch. Senior aides say he will probably resign before Mr. Bush is sworn in for his second term, January 20th. Ashcroft says he's exhausted from leading the Justice Department and the domestic war on terror, which caused him some stress-related health problems.
Well, the second day after the second George W. Bush general election win saw more big gains on Wall Street. The president's political victory combined with a drop in oil prices were enough to push the Dow up 178 points. Mr. Bush's suggestions of a pro-business agenda in his second administration lit the fuse, and the market never looked back.
Coming up, they drove cross-country to cast one vote, and it wasn't even for the winner. Find out why these Berkshire County College students say it was worth it.
See this sign? Well, some folks here at the Glenville Salvation Army say they didn't, dumping off stuff like this and this. And you'll never guess what else they're getting away with. I'm Amy Polacko, and that's our I-Team investigation straight ahead.
And why are airlines hoping you'll go on a diet? They're saying increased fat means decreased profits. We'll explain why and more next.
Wake up to what's new tomorrow morning on CBS 6 News.
I'm Ed O'Brien. I'm Tom Mailey. He set an Election Day record. What's next for this voter magnet? A blustery day, rain and snow showers.
Breaking news. First weather tomorrow morning starting at 5 on CBS 6 News.
This is the big one. Tomorrow, every item will be reduced throughout New York's largest furniture store. Taft will be closed tomorrow until 4 p.m. to prepare. You'll find savings up to 10, 20, 30, 50% and more on living room, dining room, bedroom furniture, mattresses, and accessories. You're seeing just a few examples of the hundreds of tremendous markdowns you'll find. Financing is available. Don't miss out. Taft's last big 8-hour sale of the year. Tomorrow, 4 till midnight.
The 25th annual CBS 6 Melodies of Christmas. Join CBS 6 at Proctor's Theater December 9th through the 12th. It's a holiday tradition celebrating the songs of the season, performed by the Empire State Youth Orchestra and Chorale. Tickets on sale now online and at Proctor's Theater. You're watching the news on CBS 6.
It, of course, is that time of year when you may give money to that Salvation Army bell ringer in front of your favorite store.
However, our I-Team found that some donations for our local Salvation Army may not be gifts at all. And Amy Polacko explains in our exclusive I-Team investigation.
Our I-Team found some people in the capital region are actually taking from the Salvation Army instead of giving. And this give and take has been going on in the town of Glenville for at least a year. They count on us to keep giving so they can give back to the poor. And when we camped out at the Glenville Salvation Army, sure enough, we found lots of folks giving away their old stuff. Only thing is, they brought their donations when nobody was around, on Sunday. Even though signs all over say it's illegal.
It's like people just don't care. They just go and dump it anyway.
And our I-Team found dump is the key word. In a matter of 15 minutes, this is what we saw. And the piles kept growing. Right up to Monday morning. That's why some nickname it
The Glenville Town Dump.
It sure seemed like the whole town knew about it. The Salvation Army may be able to resell some, but stuff like these jugs filled with motor oil, this mattress, and this propane tank need to go to the real dump.
Garbage ain't donations.
And that hauling costs the Capital District Salvation Army stores $150,000 a year that could have gone to helping the poor. Let's ask one of the weekend cleanup crew.
We have to have about 5, 6 trucks.
5 or 6 trucks to pick all this up.
Yeah.
He told us most of the stuff he carts to the Albany store for sorting is junk.
I found washing machines, dryers, refrigerators, tires.
Stuff that can't be resold.
Right.
Why do they do it?
Because they might not want to take their stuff to the dump and have to pay for the dump.
We asked some folks about it one Sunday.
Why are you dumping here on a day when it says you're not supposed to?
I don't really, is it dumping?
And most claim they never saw the sign.
So I have to take this home and come back?
Don't you people have bigger problems to worry about?
This man wasn't interested in talking to us and took off with his truck full of mattresses. But you'll never guess what else we saw people doing here. That's right, shopping. This guy made off with a new backpack, and this whole family went on a shopping spree, stopping their car to grab one last bag. These two took stuff, left when someone came, and came back for more donations when the coast was clear. We caught this family, too.
We're just wondering what you guys are doing taking things from this pile.
We're not taking it, we're just looking at them.
But we saw you take something from this pile and put it in your car. That's stealing.
Okay. Have a nice day.
The owners of nearby Lake Hill Originals have been begging the town to do something about this parking lot for a year now. They took photos themselves. Because even though other Salvation Armies like give some junk outside its gates, it's nothing like this.
We're trying to run a nice store, and then we have literally a dump across the street from our store.
The town says its code officers have been monitoring this, but admitted it's cut the Salvation Army more slack because it's a charity.
It had taken too long, so we threatened the major with a notice of violation and an appearance ticket if he didn't keep it up.
The Salvation Army's major promised to fix this. And neighbors like Kelly Gelwick say he should.
It looks like crap over there, and it sort of affects the way people live around here.
But more importantly, it's one of the few places that can help those who need it. And he thinks some people's selfishness could take that away.
If people just keep dumping over there, I'm afraid they're going to shut that place down.
The Salvation Army told us it's starting to place someone there at the site on weekends to monitor what's going on. But the charity would not talk on camera about the problem because it's afraid people won't donate anymore. The owners of Lake Hill Originals admit that the parking lot has been much cleaner over the past week. That's after we told the Salvation Army we were doing this story. For the CBS 6i team, I'm Amy Polacko.
Exercising your right to vote is one important part of being an American, but for these Simons Rock College students, it was also reason for a 37-hour road trip to Iowa. 19-year-old Allison Gilroy didn't get her absentee ballot like she expected, so on Monday, she and her friend Elizabeth Schimmel hopped into her car and headed to Allison's home state of Iowa so she could cast her vote for John Kerry. So does she think it was all for naught?
I was profoundly disappointed, of course, but it didn't. I would have done the same thing, I think. No regrets. Your only way to participate is to cast a vote. And to not do that